Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Well, hi there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. Here we are on a Thursday. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's 1 a.m. on a Friday in London and 9 a.m. Friday also in Tokyo, Japan. Hi, everybody. My name is Frank Allan, and welcome aboard to another edition of Talk Back Live. This is the show that we come to you each week, every Thursday at this time, and we bring you great conversation and all kinds of information, and we just have a lot of fun. Those of you who are joining us for the first time, we thank you so much for being here. We're going to tell you how much you can keep with us and how often you can keep up with us, so you'll be part of the family. Don't make this your last time. For those of you who are here from the beginning, well, you already know the protocol. We already told you lots and lots of times ago, each time we come on the air, you can just come on and bring your friends on in as well. We're coming from 3 different sources, right? We're coming from Facebook. We're live on Facebook. We're coming on YouTube and Instagram as well. And you could check out what's happening by telling your friends. Now, if you're on Facebook, right? You're watching us on Facebook Live right now. All you have to do is tag this show to your friends right now. Bring them aboard. You can tag them. Let them know that you're out here and they can come in too. You can engage in conversation as we engage in conversation with you and you with us and other people who come in. You can talk to them as well. A lot of people, they come in and they want to engage in conversation, and that's good. Of course, as the host of the show, I bring out the topics, and then if you want to join in and kind of say, I want to talk about something, I want to say this, I want to say that, and we engage everyone in your conversation. We won't overlook anyone. That's the way it goes here. It's free exchange and talk all around. So stay along with us and we'll talk more. And later on in the program, I'll give you information for all of you who are shy and may want to say something. And I have information, my email address, my telephone number, which I'll pass along to you a little later on in the program. So there you go. So thank you so much for being along with us. Now, we've got a lot of other things to do too. Of course, we're going to do the regular routine that we always do. In just a few minutes from now, Brian Camp will be right here. Well, maybe not physically here, but he's coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and he has the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update, which is the name of his show on this show, Sports Update, and he'll be along with all of that information coming on too. And we're going to talk about the Yankees as it goes now. The Yankees are on the air right now. I just want to throw that out. They're on the air right now, but there's no score. They started it an hour ago. They started the game an hour ago, and they're at Yankee Stadium. They're playing the Rays, and so that's always nice. And they've been playing some really good ball, and I'm so proud of them. And I hope they keep up the pace, as the Mets would too as well. Hope they keep up the pace so we could get together and I would love to see a World Series between the 2 New York teams. How much money can they generate through that? A whole lot of money. The city will be flooded with money. People from all around will be coming in just to check it out. But look, we're going to not get too ahead of ourselves on that topic because, you know, things can happen and we just want to, that's just a hope. Keep our fingers crossed for that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being along with us. And well, what do you know? We're here. Another Thursday. And this weekend, we're celebrating Father's Day, right? Father's Day is right around the corner this Sunday, Father's Day. And a lot of you fathers, I wish you fathers a great Father's Day. Of course, we honor you just like we do Mother's Day. And, you know, they do more elaborating on Mother's Day. They say, well, you know, that's my mother, you know, that's my mother, you know, she gets the top thing, you know, they expand more on mothers than they do on the Father's Day. You ever notice that? But listen, you know, fathers are just as important. I mean, you may say, okay, you know something, my mom used to tell me, you know something, if it weren't for me, you wouldn't be here. And I said, well, you know, I didn't want to be a wise Weisenheimer with her because she was from the South. She wasn't raised in the South, but she was born in the South, and that backhand slap came along. Those of you who are Southern understand that, right? But I used to say, but didn't Dad make a contribution? He did. Dads make contributions, and if you're lucky, he hung around for the long haul, right? Took out the baseball games and all kinds of events and things like that. My dad is no longer with me, neither is my mom. But since we're talking Father's Day, I just want to, wish my dad in heaven have a heavenly Father's Day. I remember before he passed away, I used to always go see him. He lived in Las Vegas, and I used to do a lot of business in Las Vegas, and I always made sure that I was always there on Father's Day. So sometimes if I were able to arrange some business, I knew I had something coming along. I said, I kind of schedule around the Father's Day, and I could work all week. And then at the end of the week, which was, Sunday, it would be, I would go see him for the whole day. We'd go out, take him out to dinner or whatever it was. And then I leave to go back to New York the following day. That's how I usually schedule it. But he's no longer with me now. That doesn't mean I don't go to Las Vegas, although I haven't been there in a long time. But yeah, that's what I used to do. I used to go visit him, always made sure that I was there, took the flight to Las Vegas to go see him and spend Father's Day with him. And those of you who have fathers that are still around, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy them. Enjoy them. They're all you get. You only get one set of parents. You already know that, right? And so be very kind. Take them out to dinner. Take them out to a ball game. If you're here watching us in New York, I'm pretty sure I can't remember if the Yankees. Yeah, the Yankees should be. Are they going to be in town? I have to check. Brian. I have to check with Brian. I didn't check the schedule before I went on. But whatever it is, you could take them to a lot of different places, Okay, too, later on in the program, I have those Turner Classic Movies. Those Turner Classic Movies are coming along. I have a big chunk of them, and I will relay them to you because I want to make that part of your week. What you have on your bucket list, whatever you do on the weekends, I want to make that part of your weekend too. Have movies in case you want to catch up on some nice movies. I have that. Also, we're going to give you information that what's happening in this day in history. I have a lineup of a lot of things coming along, and that's coming along too. We talked about celebrating Father's Day. Also, we're in the middle of Pride Month. You guys already know that, right? We're in the middle of Pride Month, so there's another celebration right there. Parades and festivities all across the nation. And of course, they did a lot of advertising on there. There are a lot of things to be celebrating. So yeah, that's that. So you got that. Yeah, you have the Pride Month and Father's Day coming along. And of course, I will add on to all of your festivities with the movies that I have for you all coming around. So there you go. Thank you for being along. If you're just joining us this very moment, it's 8 minutes past the hour right now. It's 8 minutes past the hour. And the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. And we're talking back live to you. You want to be part of this? All you have to do is join us. Now, a lot of people are out there just sitting idle, and that's okay too. That's okay too. Sit idle, enjoy the show, and we'll take care of everything else. But for those of you who want to join in, feel free. We will answer all your questions. We'll conversate and talk about a lot of things together. It's all coming up right here on Talk Back Live. And do you know, I just wanted to talk about this. Every once in a while, we don't expand on it as much as we used to, but the COVID situation is still on. You already know that, right? Don't think for a moment that it's all over, and don't let your guard down, because it's still there. It's still there, and it can affect any of us at any time. And so if you haven't gotten it, knock wood, and I hope that you don't get it. We heard in the news too that Dr. Fauci contracted the virus. Now, let me tell you something. You never let your guard down. Just because you get vaccinated, you can be fully vaccinated. just like I am. I'm fully vaccinated. Not only that, I had 2 boosters. All right. So did Dr. Fauci. Fully vaccinated and had 2 boosters. But things that happen. But the good news about it is that he's not going to spend any time in the hospital. It's going to be okay. He's going to be fine. All he has to do is go in quarantine for about a few days and make sure that he retests himself, make sure that he's negative, and then back out to go back to work or whatever he does. You know, so I just wanted to throw that out there, that the situation still stands. You still mask up in public places. I understand here in New York, the news about the mask for the kids, they have the option of wearing it or not wearing it. Sometimes, you know, they want to say, hey, you know something, I'm not comfortable with not wearing a mask, so I'm going to continue to wear the mask. But wherever you go in closed quarters, like let's say, for instance, in restaurants, of course, unless you're eating, of course, you know, you're going to drop your mask. But for the most part, if you're in close places where a lot of people dwell, please remember to mask up. Be smart, and do that. I have information for all of you guys who need it. All you have to do is contact me and I will give it to you, right? And speaking of that, I will give that information to you now. If you have any information that you think I should forward to you about this COVID, I'm going to be very happy to do so. Give you contact numbers and whatever. And I have 2 pieces of information right now. You can contact me. I have my email address and my telephone number. You can have either one of those will get you there. And for you people who are shy and don't want to talk and you have questions and ideas about the show, whatever you want to talk about, you can do that through that. And my email address is frankallanprod@aol.com. That's Frank Allan. Allan, the last name is spelled A-L-L-A-N. Frank Allan Prod, P-R-O-D. That's short for productions. Frank Allan Prod @aol.com. And of course, you could email me anytime you want. Questions, you know, anything about COVID. I'm not a doctor, but if I don't have the answers, I could research it and you could research it just as well. But either way, you can contact me. Telephone number I have is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Again, that's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. So you have both of those sources, and please use them. Please use them. They're all right there for you. And speaking of COVID, a little bad news on the scene. We talked about Dr. Fauci contracting. Also, information that I got earlier this week, Mick Jagger of the Rolling Stones is diagnosed with COVID-19, and he had to cancel out a few concerts. So you see what I mean? I don't know his status on his vaccination status. I don't know anything about that, but I do know he contracted the virus, and he canceled a couple of performances. So he's going to be smart and lay back, and then hopefully get retested to make sure that he's negative, and then go back on the concert circuit. So just keep our fingers crossed for Mick Jagger, one of my favorite guys. This guy's been rocking and rolling for many years, for many, many years, and he's still rocking and rolling. I can't believe it. At his age, he's older than I am, but he's still rocking and rolling. I had to take some points on him. Ozzy Osbourne undergoing surgery. Let's pray for Ozzy Osbourne. Remember Ozzy Osbourne, you know, those of you who know that he was famous. I don't know how true that situation is, but biting the bat's head off on a concert. Anyway, Ozzy Osbourne undergoing surgery on spine, and this is going to determine the rest of his life. That's all the information I got right now. And this information came from his wife, Sharon. He's undergoing surgery, and this surgery depends and will determine the rest of his life. That's all I know. So just let's keep our fingers crossed for Ozzy Osbourne. And he's been around for a long time, and we want him around even longer. So that's all of the news and all and the front of everything going on. Okay, you're just coming in, more people there. There you go. There you go. There, all the people on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. And yeah, we're all here. We thank you so much for being along with us. We want you to stay with us because we've got a lot of things coming up for you, a lot of things going on. So hang around with us. And as I said, for those of you who are just checking in with us, we've got later on those movies, Turner Classic Movies, and then we have This Day in History. All of that is coming up, and we'll have all of that information coming for you. But right now, we are going to Charlotte, North Carolina, where the weather is finer. At least I hope it's better than what we have here. I mean, we had a little rain this morning, had a lot of heavy rain this morning. And usually I check in with Brian to see if it's raining. And if it's raining there, I know we're going to get it here. Did it rain today over there?
It rained late afternoon, but in
Today?
the early part of the day,
Oh.
yeah, in the early part of the day, it was like a blistering 95, 96 degrees outside. Then suddenly a big old black cloud started moving in our area.
Yeah.
And it rained and it poured down, which was great for us because it saved us the electric on a water bill, because, you know, out here, you know, you could get into a heat drought of just trying to water your backyard, your grass and your flowers and everything. So yeah, so I was saying, come on down, bring it on down, rain. And it rained for a good part, for like an hour and a half. And I didn't have to go outside and have to turn on the water hose. So it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, it's good to know. Our weather last weekend, we had some blazing hot weather. It was great. The sun was out and people were doing a lot of things. The weather's not going to be bad this weekend, but it's going to be a little breezy. We're going to have gusty winds. So
yeah, tomorrow we're going to go up as high as 98, 99 degrees tomorrow. So, you know, it's going to be it's going to be hot. It's going to be hot. Yeah. So, but good evening to you all, to everybody out there listening to Talk Back Live, and everybody that's listening out on Facebook, on Zoom, and everywhere else around the world, Instagram. It's like I said, it's 73 degrees out here, and it's a very exciting sporting night for tonight. Game 6 of the NBA Finals, the Celtics against the Warriors, will start in another roughly around 42 minutes or so. And in baseball, the Mets and the Yankees they still winning. You know, right now it's no score between the Yankees and the forgot who they're playing. I think it's the Rays. Yeah, the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Mets and the Brewers are tied up at 1-1. Mets and Yankees have the best record in their respective leagues. The Yankees got the best record in all of baseball in the American League, and the Mets got the best record in the National League. So they on course. They're about to on course for a collision for another World Series, a Subway World Series. So, but it's still early in the season. A lot could happen, and let's see what goes on. So let's get to sports. As we was talking about baseball, let's stick with it. Baltimore Orioles CEO John Angelos was accused in a lawsuit this week of seizing control of the team at the expense of his brother Lou, and in defiance of their father Peter's wishes. Peter Angelos became the Orioles owner back in 1993, but his public role has diminished in recent years as he turns 93 next month. John Angelos is the club's chairman and CEO, and Peter and Lou listed as the team website as part of its limited partnership group. In a lawsuit filed Thursday in the Baltimore County Circuit Court, Lou Angelos said John has tried to take control of their father's estate while excluding Lou. In 2018, Peter Angelos became disabled. Shortly thereafter, John embarked on a series of steps to arrogate to himself complete control over the father's assets. He accomplished this by manipulating his mother, Georgia Angelos, who is now 80 years old, and thereby is bending her to his will. So they're fighting over ownership family ownership of the Baltimore Orioles. This explains why this team has been so awful in recent years. The Orioles are, every time you look up, they're looking up at the last place, looking up in their division. They're a horrible team, not well coached, not well managed, and ownership is fighting among themselves. It's a family thing. So let's see what happens. Some sad news, former LA Dodgers player Steve Sachs says his 33-year-old son, who had always dreamed of being a pilot, was among the 5 U.S. Marines killed during a training flight, crashed early this week in the California desert. Captain John J. Sachs was among the air crew of an Osprey tilt rotor aircraft that went down during training in a remote area in Imperial County, about 150 miles east of San Diego and 50 miles from Yuma, Arizona. So our prayers and thoughts will go to Steve Sachs' family. Steve Sachs is a former Dodger who played with them in the 80s and part of the 90s as well. So so sorry to hear that. NFL news, Washington Commander defensive coordinator Jack Del Rio, as you know, like I said last week, is defending his tweets about the upcoming congressional hearings that's on now from January 6th of 2020 to 21, insurrection, saying that he wants to know why there's not similar energy devoted to the riots in the summer of 2020 as there is to what he terms a dust-up at the U.S. Capitol. Del Rio tweeted last Monday, in response to a tweet about the summer riots of looting, burning, and the destruction of personal property is never discussed, but this is. So he's really wanting to know why that when other people is doing it, what he's trying to say, I'm going to have to clean it up. I call it, like I said, he said, when people of color looting and burning and rioting, how come it's not being said? Because that's what he's really aiming at. Many people's not going to say it, but I'll say it, and that's what he was referring to. Head coach Ron Rivera also said that he was fined Del Rio for $100,000 last week because his comments had caused distraction for the team. Since then, Del Rio has deleted his Twitter account, in which Coach Rivera said that he did not ask him to do. Del Rio had addressed the team and offered his apologies too as well. So he did apologize, but still, what was said is said. So I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be a distraction in the upcoming football season. I could tell you that. Deshaun Watson, remember him? Reiterated that he is innocent of the numerous allegations of inappropriate sexual conduct during massages that have been made against him. Yet, while the Cleveland Browns quarterback said that he has no regrets about any of his actions, he did admit that he does regret the impact the allegations have had on the people around him. 2 more civil suits came forth, lawsuits that was filed against Watson, bringing the total of 24 active lawsuits against him, including his former employer, the Houston Texans. So, but again, there's no criminal charges was brought against Deshaun Johnson. So that's where we are. The NBA longtime Phoenix Suns employee Melissa Fender, who began working for the organization since 2007, has sent a resignation email on May 20th to 16 members of the ownership group, including majority owner Robert Salvar, alleging she became the target of bullying and retaliation by superiors after raising concerns about gender equality and misconduct within the organization. She has challenged them to address what she said is a toxic, let me try to say this word, mystic workplace, which means that they are really having their way to say what they want. So is among the culture. This is not the first time that the Phoenix Suns has been accused of doing this. They've been happening. This has been happening a couple of years now, and they're still going on by just not trying to give equal opportunities not only to people of color but to women as well. So they're under the radar. A rare Michael Jordan rookie card has been sold for the auction house Christie's for $1.8 million, including fees and premiums. LeBron James, whose net worth was recently evaluated north of $1 billion by Forbes magazine, has Mattis known for years that he plans to own an NBA team when he finished playing basketball. LeBron James cannot own a team while he's still actively playing in the NBA. His goal is to own a team in the city of Las Vegas. James also joined Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods as the only athletes to become millionaires. So congratulations to LeBron James for his work, his hard work, not only on the basketball court, but off the court as well. This day in sports, June 16th, 1975, the NBA Milwaukee Bucks have traded Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Walt Wesley to the LA Lakers for 4 players. 1979, Carl Yastrzemski hits his 1,000 extra base hit. 1991, Minnesota Twins win a team record 15 games in a row. 1992, Major League Baseball, Boston Red Sox, Jeff Reardon sets a record of 342 saves versus the Yankees. And in 1993, Ken Griffey Jr. slugs his 100th career home run in Seattle. This day for birthdays, 1949, Ron LaFleur, born in Detroit, Michigan. How ironic, he used to play for the Detroit Tigers. So happy birthday to him. 1951, happy birthday to Roberto Duran, the Panamanian boxer, was born in El Correlo, Panama. 1955, former basketball player Tree Rollins, NBA center, was born in Winter Haven, Florida. In 1974, David Fizdale, NBA coach, was born in Los Angeles, California. And in 1977, Kerry Wood was a Major League Baseball player, was born in Irving, Texas. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports. And there's an update. The Tampa Bay Rays scored a run in the top of the 5th. They now lead the New York Yankees 1-0. But it's still early though.
Oh, I know. I was getting ready to say that, but since you're the sports guy, you took it away. That's great. But yeah, like you say, it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. And by the time, I'm going to make a prediction. By the time we get off the air here, the Yankees are going to get on the board. Now, I don't know if by the time they'll be tied up or maybe 1 run ahead, but that's my prediction. They're going to get on the board before I get off the air. Okay,
well, it's still early in the game, and in fact, it's midway through the game, so a lot can happen from now until the 9th inning. So we'll see what happens.
Do you remember Sam Jones? He played for the Celtics.
Sam Jones is a Boston Celtic legend. Yes, he won, I believe, 7 to 8 championships, maybe 10. Yeah. I'm not quite sure how many, but he won a lot of championships. Yes.
Yeah, I thought about him today. He passed away 2001. I think. Yes. He passed away 2001. And the reason why I thought about him, because I remember sometimes when I think about something, I try to go research. I go to my research, and I thought about him because I met Sam Jones when I was a teenager. And I remember he came to the neighborhood at the school, PS 196 on Bushwick Avenue in Brooklyn. I went there. And back in those days, they had a lot of things for the kids to do. We had gym at night, we had the dances and things like that. There was always something for the kids to do. And one day, I don't know who invited him. I think Mr. Whitney played for the ABA. And I think he invited him over, and there was, at the end of his tour, when he came in and watched us, they put all of the guys together, all of my friends, all of us together. We stood around him, and we took a picture of him. You know, photographers say, hey, you want all you guys around Sam Jones to take a picture of him, right? And they posed us. They said, because he was a tall guy, you know, the rest of us were like pint size, you know. Well, we were still growing, but we were pint size. And he said, everybody look up at Sam Jones. And I wish I was able to find that picture. I looked on the line, I looked on to see if there was like such a picture online. I did everything. I used every kind of character to Google it to see if it would direct me there. I wish I had a picture of that.
Well, Sam Jones is on my wall while you was talking. I was just looking at him playing against Jerry West. This is an old picture. It was in color, so it had to have been late '60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a great player. He's in the Hall of Fame too as well.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I wish somehow I can find that picture, or so it would surface on the internet somewhere so I can have a copy of it. You know, you go back in time, it doesn't mean anything at the time, but then when you look back and years later and you say, oh God, you know, I had a Photoshop with Sam Jones or whoever, and you can't find it.
It's hard to find. I don't know if you could go back to the school iCards where you could just look it up and get I don't know, because it's very hard. I tried to do some research for PS3, but you know, you just can't get those. You know, those memories. Whenever you get a picture, you just don't know down the road how valuable that picture or document may be.
Exactly. But someone somewhere in this world, someone has that photo. If the photographer is still around, he definitely has it. But somewhere, somehow, someone, and I want to see if I can. I'm gonna see if I can nail it. I'm gonna research and see if I can nail it somehow, because it's got to be published somewhere. I remember Sly Stone went to see Sly Stone in the I think it was at Madison Square Garden, right?
Where he got married, yes, at the garden.
Right, and when he got married. That picture. I remember one time when I was working corporate, I was working in a bank. Oh, I hated that job. I was working in a bank, and one of the guys had the Daily News, and it was the front page. I think it was the back page or front page, whatever it was, one of the feature pages, and it had the concert of Sly Stone. He was up there on the stage, and one of the guys had the paper. He looked. He pointed at me. He said, "Is that you in the crowd right there?" And sure enough, it was. Sure enough. And I found that picture online, but I can't detect where I was standing because of the quality of the picture wasn't really that good. But yeah, I was right there, right up front.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wow. Those memories are just, you want to try to hold again. You want to hold back memories. Just hold on to them. And now we're in an age where you can hold video, DVDs. So that's important. That is very important.
Very important. Okay, so we'll see you back here tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow you'll see me. Yes.
Good enough. Okay, we'll see you then. You guys
okay then.
Take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Take care.
Okay. Bye-bye. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was Brian Camp, of course, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. He'll be back here tomorrow on the coffee hour, of course, doing his thing for his part of the 2020 feature. And he comes on 20 past the hour, DJ Pete 20 to the hour. However, DJ Pete won't be in tomorrow. But I do have information he sent me. He was nice enough to send me his feature, and I will be filling in for him tomorrow. So we'll still have a full show. It's coming up tomorrow on the coffee hour. But in the meantime, name of the show is called Talk Back Live. If you're just joining us, are you just joining us this instant? Well, welcome aboard. If you're joining us for the first time, we thank you so much for being here. And we want you to come back again and again and be part of us. I already gave you information on how you can contact us. I'll give it to you probably one more time if I have the time. If I can squeeze it in, I'll give it to you one more time. Or you could watch the show over, as when we finish the show, it'll be rebroadcast and you can watch it again. That's the way. That's the good thing about the doing this show, is that in case anyone miss it live, you could always go back and check it out later. It's all here for you. So thank you guys for being with us on the Talk Back Live. And boy, we're really moving fast. So let's keep things going. Right now, on this day in history, how about that? On this day in history, 1932, US President Herbert Hoover, had nothing to do with the vacuum cleaner. Herbert Hoover and Vice President Charles Curtis were renominated by the Republican Convention. On this day in history, in 1943, a race riot developed in Beaumont, Texas. 2 people were killed. On this day in history, in 1958, Flip Top Box by Dickie Doo and the Don'ts, a doo-wop group, that hit number 46 on the charts. On this day in history, in 1960, Psycho, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, starring Janet Leigh, Anthony Perkins, and Vera Miles, that opened in New York City. On this day in history, 1961, Dave Galloway is fired as host of the NBC's Today Show. Back in 1966, Rowan and Martin host the Dean Martin Show summer series on NBC TV. Back in 1967, 50,000 people attended the first day of the Monterey International Pop Festival, beginning of the Summer of Love. In 1970, Kenneth A. Gibson was elected the first Black mayor of Newark, New Jersey. Back in 1977, Beatlemania opens on Broadway. In 1978, the film Grease opened, starring John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, based on the 1971 musical. And in 1978, Ringo Starr released his album Bad Boy. In 1980, musical comedy film The Blues Brothers, starring Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi. And it was directed by John Landis. It premiered in Chicago, Illinois. In 1982, Columbia Records released Somewhere in the Stars. Somewhere in the Stars, that's the 4th studio album by Roseanne Cash, produced by her husband, Rodney Colwell, and it featured her father on the tracks Johnny Cash. And back in 1987, New York City subway gunman Bernhard Goetz, remember him? He was acquitted on all but gun possession charges after shooting 4 Black youths who tried to rob him. In 1989, Ghostbusters 2, directed by Ivan Reitman, starring Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd, premieres. In 1991, the revival of the musical Fiddler on the Roof closes at the Gershwin Theater in New York City after 241 performances. In 1997, the 31 Music City News Country Awards go to Alan Jackson and Leanne Rimes. And let's see, what do we have here? Comedian and actor Stan Laurel. Stan Laurel, you remember, of Laurel and Hardy. Stan Laurel was born on this day in 1890. And he was born in Ulverton, Lancashire, England. And he passed away February 23rd, 1965 at the age of 74. In 1941, Lamont Dozier, he's famous for his Motown act. Lamont Dozier, American songwriter and producer for Motown, was born in Detroit, Michigan. He's 81 today. Happy birthday to him. In 1946, Tom Harrell, an American jazz trumpeter, and a fine trumpeter he is too, was born in Urbana, Illinois, and he's 76 today. Boxer, as Brian already stated, Roberta Duran was celebrating her birthday today. He mentioned that, so I don't have to mention that anymore. Anyway, singer Gio Vanelli was born in Montreal, Quebec. He's 70 years old today. 1955, actress Laurie Metcalf was born in Carbonville, Illinois. She's 67 today. Rapper Tupac Shakur. That's terrible. I thought I was going to make that one. Anyway, he was born on this day in 1971. He was born in East Harlem. He passed away September 13th, 1996 at the age of 25. You all remember he was murdered in a drive-by shooting. In 1939, jazz drummer Chick Webb, who was famous for working with Ella Fitzgerald. He dies of Pott's disease, that's tuberculosis of the spine. And he died at the age of 34. They died young back in those days. Actor George Reeves, who was famous for the original Superman role back in the 50s. He passed away on this day in 1959 at the age of 45. And I am not going to, it's here, but I am not going to expand how he died because that information was, nobody really knows. It's a confusing issue, so I'm not going to bring it out there. But all I know, he was born January 5th, 1914, and he was born in Woolstock, Iowa. In 1928, the New York Governor Thomas E. Dewey, he weds stage actress Frances Eileen Hutt. Back in 1943, actor comedian Charlie Chaplin, he marries actress Ona O'Neill. In 1973, talk show host Jerry Springer weds Mickey Velton. In 1989, actor Hugh Laurie, he weds theater administrator Joe Green in Camden, London. And finally, 2007, singer Rod Stewart weds model Penny Lancaster. And that's what we have today, in this day in history. Now, for those of you who may have information on what's happening in this day in history that you know of by heart and I don't know of, and I failed to mention it, please let me know. Type it in right now and I'll see you right there on the big screen like I do all the time. And I will relay all of that information to each and every one of you. So thank you so much for being along with us. Okay, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. And of course, while I was doing all of that, reading all of that, babbling along, I noticed a lot of people were coming in and most people are idle. Most people are idle and that's okay. But if you'd like to say anything in particular, of course, we will do that for you. We will acknowledge you. We will answer your questions, your thoughts, your ideas on whatever you want to talk about. It's free, open exchange conversation, and we thank you so much for that. Just want to note one thing, that my in-studio screen has frozen. So I am depending on all of you right now, if you're under the sound of my voice, to let me know if we're still constant, if we're still rolling along. I'm pretty sure we are, but my studio screen, the output is frozen. And it's been that way for a while. When Brian was on, it was that way for a while. I'm pretty sure it's okay. The output is pretty okay, I'm pretty sure. But if you're out there right now, if we're rolling along, I'm pretty sure someone would have told me anyway, right? So I'm just under the assumption that everything is okay. I mean, I can go on Facebook and check it out myself, but I'm pretty sure it's okay. Okay, so there you have it, all of those great things, all of those lovely things that are happening in the world today, and you know all about it, right? And we mentioned all of the things that you need to know about the coronavirus. We've always mentioned that. And that's the way we're doing things around here. You know, this week, I gotta mention this. And if a lot of you want to join in on this, that would be great. That would be great. I really would appreciate it. And we will really answer your questions. We can debate it. We're not going to fight, but we can debate it because everyone has difference of an opinion. All right. As you know, this week, and it started, I believe it was Thursday or Friday, the first hearing, the first session of the hearings of the January 6th insurrection. Hearings are on now. So we had one on, I believe if it was Thursday, if I can remember, it was Thursday or Friday. And then I believe it was Friday. Then we had another one on Monday. And then we had one today. And I think Wednesday, did we have one Wednesday? No, they didn't have one Wednesday, but we have one today. I think this is the third one. And I gotta tell you guys, I didn't check out the first two. I didn't get a chance to see the first two, but I got as much as I could out of the hearings for today. I watched them today. You know, usually I have a little time before I gear myself to come on the air tonight. And and watch, the news, and it was all over the place. It was on every network you could think of. And so things look like they're coming down to the wire. Things are coming out of the woodwork. Things that a lot of you people who love 345/66 Beast Incarnate, those of you who love him and you still are loyal to him, there are changes, and there are a lot of people who were just like you, with them, stay with them, no matter what he does, what he says, we're going to stay right there with them. And a lot of people in the end came out and said it, he lost the election. The big lie, you can do the big lies all you want, but he lost the election. And a lot of his big time followers are actually coming out. Even his daughter is coming out. Of course, we already heard from William Barr. He says it's BS. I'm not going to say the actual word, but you get the idea. And he's not living in reality. He's far from reality. But you know what? Who didn't know that? Who didn't know that already? We all knew that. It's just now everything is coming out. I understand now that Jenny, or Virginia, whatever you want to call her, Thomas, that's the wife of Justice Thomas. She's, or so she says, that she's going to come out and do a little testifying. She's going to come out and she's going to say that, and she, in her words, and I'm just paraphrasing here, she's saying she just can't wait, to do this, to set the record straight. She can't wait. And we'll have to see if she's true to her word, because you already know she was part of that crew that wanted to overturn the elections. Mike Pence, of course, he was pressured to overturn the elections. Do the right thing, Mike, or I'm going to be very disappointed in you. Do the right thing. And so according to them, he didn't do the right thing. In their mind, he didn't do the right thing. And so, the beat goes on with so many things to digest. It's hard to really get it, but I tried to get as much. I wanted to do it from the beginning. I wanted to watch all of this from the beginning. And I just couldn't, but I got a chance to do it today. And I've heard, a lot, learned a lot. And I'm just wondering, how you feel about it. The big lie continues, but a lot of people are still, saying, the elections were stolen, even to this day. What's it going to take? Even after these other people, these deep Trump supporters, they're real supporters, even though, they came out and said, oh, I'm coming out, it's a lie. The lie is over. He lost. The daughter came out. I don't know about the son too much, but of course the daughter wasn't there in person. She did it by by Teletron, satellite, whatever source it was, and she came out, and she just took the word to heart from William Barr. Said they didn't do it. It's a lie. Now we've got the elections coming up. All right, midterm elections coming up. And those of you who voted in the primaries, and you have to be Republican or Democrat, you can't be independent, because I don't think you can vote independently. I wish they would change that. But if you're independent, you can't vote the primaries. Now, unless of course it's something I don't know about, maybe they did, I don't know. But as far as I know now, you can't vote in the primaries. But for those of you in the Republican Party or the Democratic Party, had a chance to vote in the primaries, you got a chance to vote now in the general election, which would be in November. It'll be in November. It's coming up. And I believe that would be November 8th. I believe that's November 8th. And so you're going to put people in office. And then 2 years after that, now you're going to have to vote for a new president. Who is it going to be? What door are they standing behind? Is it door number 1, door number 2, or door number 3? But in all seriousness, we don't know. Now, I understand that Mike Pence may throw his hat in the ring. All right. That's what I understand, that he may do that. I kind of thought that he would do it anyway. And I still say, I don't know if Joe Biden is going to run again. If he does, I don't think he's going to win. But I do think that another Democrat with a fresh blood, this is only my prediction, with a fresh mind, because let's face it, Joe Biden, he's up there in age. 345/666 is up there in age. When you get up there in age, you don't think it's quick. Sometimes you don't do sometimes you do things on impulse, which is dangerous. You don't want to do anything on impulse. And that's why you have people around you. And that's why 345/666 Beast Incarnate never liked briefings. That's what your people are there for, to brief you. Because especially if you're older and they're younger and they brief you, this way they want to keep you mentally stable. So when you go out there to make your decisions, you'll be in the right frame of mind. You have advisors, but he never. 345/666 Beast Incarnate never did that. Never. Yeah, he was the one that said, oh, I can do this. I don't need them. We all need someone. He was asked one time, how did you get elected? Oh, I got myself elected. Did he not say that? He said that. He said, I got myself not elected. Now, those of you who voted for him, you should be really pissed off about that. You voted for him. You voted for him. You put your tail on the line for him. You went out there and you got shot for him. And you went out there and you did this and you did that. You wound up in jail for him. And yet he says, I got me elected. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest. He didn't give a damn about you. He doesn't give a damn about you. He doesn't give a damn about me. We're looking for a president who's going to give a damn about people, American people. And American people consist of a lot of people. They consist of Blacks, whites, Latinos, Italians, Muslims, yes, Muslims, who were born in this country, have American status, right? And yet you have these Karens that go around saying to these people who were born in this country, saying, go back where you came from. People who were born in this country, they tell you to go back where you came from. And you're born in this country, So, ladies and gentlemen, what we want to do, I think the point I'm trying to make is that when that time comes for us to vote for someone to go into that White House, be very careful who you put in there. And I'm talking with people who are listening, who are actually going to use their head. I gave up hope on people who says, oh, no, it's a lie. It was stolen, it was stolen. Hopeless. Okay, but the world moves on, the world turns, it keeps going. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the weekend is coming up, and as I said, Father's Day is on Sunday, and we're in the middle of Pride Week, and of course, you are going to be home. If you're not going to be home, it doesn't matter, because I am going to give you all the information now on the movies that you love, the classic movies, Turner Classic Movies, and I think you'll like them. Turner Classic Movies. And I do this because I want all of you to enjoy them. Now, whatever you do on the weekend is your business, but I just want to add something that you can possibly do for the weekend, all right? Like maybe catch up on some movies if you don't want to go out. You may not want to catch up on movies, but at least you'll have them. At least you'll know where to go. And that's where I come in. So we're going to start right now and let you know what we got for this weekend. These are my choices. These are only my picks for the weekend. Only my picks. You know, there are more. I'll tell you where to go to do that. Let's start off right now. The Easter Parade, 1948 with Judy Garland and Fred Astaire on Turner Classic Movies. That's coming on Friday. That's tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern. Easter Parade, a nice musical. If you have the Easter spirit, and we passed Easter, but it doesn't, there's no timeline nor when you can watch Easter Parade. Anyway, that's coming on again Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Here's another one back in 1955 that no one gets tired of ever watching. Rebel Without a Cause, 1955, starring James Dean, Sal Mineo, and Natalie Wood. That was back in 1955, and you know, James Dean never really got to see that movie. He passed away before it was released, so he never got to see it, and the rest of us did. It's on Saturday, coming up this Saturday on Turner Classic Movies at 1:45 p.m. Spend your afternoon with that, doing that. Here's another one, Four for Texas, 1963, starring Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. And I think the rest of the Rat Pack is in there, right? Joey Bishop is in there, isn't he in there? Sammy Davis, Peter Lawford, they're all in there. I believe that's the movie that they're all in. 3:45 p.m. Eastern. And that's Four for Texas. And another classic, Bus Stop from 1956, starring Marilyn Monroe. And that comes on Turner Classic Movies. That's on Sunday. Catch that at 8:15 a.m. That's early in the morning. And you may not be able to watch it. You could also DVR these movies and watch them at a later time. So if you happen to get ready for church, that's Sunday morning, 8:15 a.m., DVR it. Watch it when you get back from church. Or if you're going to just laze around and call it one of those days like Stay in Bed Sunday, it's right there early in the morning if you want to get up that morning, get up that early. Oh, another classic, one of the things I like, I'm glad it's back too, Stormy Weather, 1943 with Lena Horne and Bill Robinson. That comes on Turner Classic Movies. That's this Sunday at 11:45 a.m. And I do believe that will follow the Bus Stop. 11:45 a.m. Eastern, Stormy Weather. And finally, here's something that I think you're going to like. It's called The Wiz. The Wiz. I guess it's a takeoff from Wizard of Oz, but this is The Wiz. 1978 with Diana Ross and Richard Pryor and Michael Jackson. And that comes on Turner Classic Movies. I had a chance to see a segment in person. And they did that segment in the subway. So I had a chance to see Diana Ross and Michael Jackson and Nipsey Russell. Anyway, that's on Sunday at 5:15 p.m. The Wiz. Now, those are my picks for the week. Now, if you have other movies that you like, that you think you may like, or go to Turner Classic Movies and go through the program guide, and you'll find movies that maybe I didn't mention here, not because I didn't like them or I don't like them. It's because these are only my picks. I can't mention everyone, but that's why I always direct you to Turner Classic Movies, and then you go through the program guide, you find these and other movies, and you can watch these movies. They never overlap each other, so you can watch them all in succession. Also, you want to go on to Movie on Demand and check out all the movies, a lot of movies there, so you can check out those too. And also, all the networks are there, sports, all of that. It's all right there, and I think you're going to like it. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I go, I want to go over the movies one more time for you so you like them. And they come along. Here we go. Easter Parade, Judy Garland, Fred Astaire, Turner Classic Movies, Friday. That's tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern. Rebel Without a Cause with James Dean, Sal Mineo, and Natalie Wood. That's Saturday at 1:45 p.m. Four for Texas with Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin. That's Saturday at 3:45 p.m. Bus Stop with Marilyn Monroe on Turner Classic Movies. Sunday at 8:15 a.m. Stormy Weather with Lena Horne and Bill Robinson. And that's Sunday at 11:45 p.m. And finally, again, The Wiz with Diana Ross, Richard Pryor, and Michael Jackson. Turner Classic Movies Sunday at 5:15 p.m. and I hope you will enjoy them. That's going to do it later for me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go and hang up my shoes, but I will be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for the coffee hour. Brian Kemp will be here with me with the latest developments in today's world of sports, part of his 2020 feature. And of course, DJ Pete, of course, 20 to the hour, as Brian does it 20 after the hour. But DJ Pete won't be here, so 20 to the hour. He left me the information for me to carry on, and I will do that. That's all happening tomorrow, and that's all happening right here on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. You guys have a great morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant good night. So long, everybody. See you then.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host Frank Allen. The producer is Al Dale, technical assistance Dave Taylor, research by Sandy Pierce, and I'm your announcer Donna Stanky. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.